Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Paranormal, the New Normal. I'm your host, as always, Jeremy, your paranormal dad of sorts, to try to make you see that the world is normal. There's no boogeyman in your closet. In your closet, that is. There's certain parts of this country I cannot verify and I will not go to. So, yeah, but there are no boogeymen in your closet tonight. We are back again to try to traverse this world and see what is going on. And of course, I brought guests as always, because no one wants to hear me talk for an hour, so fuck. But my guests tonight are Stephanie and Natalie from Immersive Spirit. What is Immersive Spirit? Well, you'll find out soon enough. Calm the fuck down. But welcome, ladies. I'm glad to have you both. How you doing tonight? You can't. Whoever wants to go first. I don't.
Doing good. Doing great. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you here. And we'll get more into what you guys are up to with your thing in a second. But the first question I had to ask everybody on this podcast, because I started it once and now I have to do it every time, is what got you into the paranormal?
Steph? Okay, so for me, it was seeing my grandfather when I was 5. So he, 5 years old, upstairs taking a nap because we're at a babysitter's house because my mom and dad are back at my grandfather's funeral. And I see this image on the wall. And from there, it just kind of was, run downstairs, talk to the babysitter. I'm like, there's something there. No, you're not getting out of your nap. You need to go back upstairs and blah, blah, blah. Go back upstairs, hide under the cover. Then I'm not under the covers and I'm under the covers and I'm looking out the window and I'm looking for clotheslines, anything like that you think is going to be there. Nothing. And it was years later that we're having a conversation and it dawns on us collectively, with the family, that they were at my grandfather's funeral at the same moment that this spirit came to check in on me. So we just kind of assumed from there that was Grandpa. And yeah, that was my first real experience with seeing ghosts, seeing spirits.
Ooh, young age to get started in this. So I forget.
Yeah, well,
I love it.
Yeah, then you kind of put things in a closet with your adulthood for a while and, what's real, what's not real, and the cynic in you. And then you come back around and go, yeah, no, that happened. It's real.
Oh, well, like Eminem said, eventually you have to clean out your closet. But
exactly.
Natalie, how about you? What was your kind of entryway into this world?
So really, since we've been young, I've always lived in haunted houses. So I've come to realize that it's not necessarily the house that's haunted, but they just like to hang out with me. So I eventually started investigating. My children also see things, hear things. So my youngest son and I, we do investigations, hotels, houses. Stephanie and I do investigations now. And we were investigating the Stanley, which I know is a super popular location. It pops up on everything, but we love going up there just for the fun of it. So we were up there for the fun of it. And we thought, well, we'll do a little bit of investigation. And we were working with some of the tools and had the flashlight trick, hanging out on the corner. And nothing would really happen. But eventually the flashlight did turn on. And I looked over at it at the same time it turned on. And I actually saw the person standing there fiddling with it and realized no one else in the room could see them. So it's kind of progressing. We've been doing investigations for probably 5 years now, but now it's progressing into the psychic part of things and the spirituality of it as well.
Very nice. Very nice. And yes, the Stanley Hotel, the real life Overlook Hotel, everybody likes to call it. But, well, and I'm right there with you, Natalie. I live in a possessed house. I don't like to call it a haunted house because it's not really haunted because, they don't do anything malevolent. They just kind of chill, and apparently I'm a magnet for spirits, even though I can't see them. I'm just a magnet for them, I've been told. So, yeah, that is what it is. I'll take out my guardian spirits. I'm good with that. So
that's a great correction. It's spirited houses.
Yes. very much so.
Possessed house. Yeah, I don't like the word haunted. It's just not. It's not haunted. It's not creepy. It's just possessed.
Mhm.
But and no, that's not the spirits. It's my fucking son.
I was like, wow, that was timing, man.
Nice job. Jeremy can bring them, man.
You know, I could easily fucking lie and say it is, but I don't like to do that shit because that's one thing I hate. Is when people. That's one reason I hate reality TV shows about paranormal. But
Yeah, exactly.
well, normally okay. Well, I'll still ask this question just because, even though you gave pretty much an example each. But what are some? Well, okay, I'll ask it differently since you already gave one. What have you had any paranormal experiences that are outside the ghostly realm? I'll ask it that way.
Steph?
Oh,
Hey,
I feel a story coming
first.
on.
I know. I'm trying to think. Nat, you might want to take that one first.
So I might be taking us down a path that doesn't really make sense for where we're at right now.
Oh, we
But-
love wormholes. We love wormholes. Let's go with it.
Oh, good.
So we both do readings, and so we're very much into the spiritual realm of things, and it's really kind of opening my eyes to things that are not necessarily things I've never seen. It's not that I don't believe it, because everything is possible. So I'm open to seeing anything, hearing anything. But when I'm doing readings sometimes, and like an alien will show up, and that's only happened 4 times, and I've done hundreds of readings at this point. And when it's not necessarily, I think, that I've started believing in aliens, but it's more about the person that I'm reading. And they really believe in aliens. So that's how people or spirits appear to me, in that energy. So that message gets across correctly. At least I'm kind of thinking that's a different way to look at it. Because I'm not really sure. I don't, want to make statements of facts, but that's how they appear to me sometimes. And it's happened 4 times now. So that's been really interesting.
I mean, okay, love that one. 1, 2. If you don't believe in aliens, we are about to have a discussion in a fucking half. I'm telling you that right now.
No. It's not that I don't believe.
Okay.
Of course, I've seen things that I can't explain, and I'm not a scientist. I'm not necessarily a fact-based person, because I'm open to everything. The facts are as we've defined them today. Tomorrow, the facts may be different. So it's just a different way of looking at things. So it's really opening my eyes to the alien experience. So it's been cool. It's been different than the haunting ghosts.
Yeah.
And you're not the first person. You're not the first psychic to come across at me saying, "Yeah, I've dealt with aliens," because it's a very common phenomenon nowadays that psychics are going to have to deal with aliens at some point, because it's almost, I mean, it's not explainable, but it's kind of strange, because, I mean, you hear psychic, you think ghosts, like spirits. You don't think, oh, extraterrestrials, cool. Like, you don't think that. But it's becoming more and more of a thing, which just shows to me that ETs are having more of an effect on us than we ever realized.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes along with my theory that they've been here forever, and that they're part of the human genome in a way. I think, at least. I mean, that's a whole. I can go like a fucking hour. I can go another half on that theory, but I'm not going to, because that wouldn't be a good show for anybody. But I will say that it's true. I mean, aliens have been here for a long time, and they're here. They're on Earth already, and if anybody thinks they're not, they're damn fools. And they control. They have something to do with our psyche in a way, but not all of us. Just the lucky ones, I like to say. I mean, I have regular experience with aliens, so unfortunately, I can't really say too much on them. But I've been told a lot of things that I like to, think are real. So, but
anything's possible.
Right. And out of the hundreds I've done, I've only had 4 people that I've read for that type of energy has come in, or that they represented a different physical appearance, which was just really interesting.
Well, I gotta ask this. Did you happen to get a look at what species of extraterrestrial they were?
So I've had one tell me Palladius or Palladian.
Palladian. Yep.
I couldn't quite get it across because I wasn't sure what they said. So, I mean, I have a lot of research to do on this yet. The aliens have actually all been within the last few months, which is a very strange thing, but perhaps it's because I'm becoming more open. I'm not sure. And I don't mean to be going down a rabbit hole.
Oh, we love rabbit holes. You don't have to apologize for that ever. Jesus. I mean, it's the point of this show, literally, is rabbit holes. But it became the point of the show at one point or another. But yeah, Palladians, they're one of the what I like to call founder species. It's believed they help either jumpstart the human race or they help to create us. Take your pick of beliefs there, but they've been around for a long time. I've been told they look like the Kaminoans in Star Wars Episode 2. So I've been told that's what they look like, kind of tall, white, and very thin. But at least that's what I've been told. I can't say I've seen one, so unfortunately. But seriously, you aliens, come on! I'm right here. Fucking abduct me already. I want to see the shit.
They don't contact me either unless I have a sitter that has that type of energy around them. So
right,
you're not alone.
Which is, I mean, it's the truth. They handpick who they want to deal with on Earth. Which I live on Earth. I don't blame you for that. I really don't. Just, but, I mean, it's just, I believe it's because it's not, I want to say families, but that's not even the right word. It's DNA they've been working with for generations upon generations. Mm. And I think it's tied down the lineage of certain people. And I think that's why they still only abduct or still only communicate with certain people. It's because they've been communicating with that gene pool, that lineage for millennia. And they're just going to keep following that line because they know that's built into them that they already have that connection. So they may have to awaken to that connection because the person doesn't realize it yet, but the connection's there and they're going to awaken it if they want to. But like I had a guest a month ago or so, Stephen and Leslie Shaw, they are pretty big in the alien UFO community, and his family's been abducted for three generations at least that he knows of. So wow. Yeah, it was a very, very, very fascinating interview. I freaking loved having them on. She actually just sent me some documentation from Congress about them finally admitting to some stuff we talked about. So it's I actually had a chance to sit down and actually read it yet, but because it's Congress papers and it's going to take a while to read. But but I want to sit down and read it because it's interesting and I love it. But well, and it's funny you say Palladians. That's a newer name. That's not like one of the traditional ones like Gray's Reptilians. So I love that you said that. But I guess start with the question is, when did you realize that you had psychic abilities?
Steph?
I don't know if there was ever a true realization. My dreams have always been very animated. I've always dreamed in color. I've always dreamed in movies. There's always been a story in them, right? Whether it's something that I needed to examine in myself or something that was going on externally in the environment or whatever. But that was a huge part of it, I think, for me, is recognizing as we started having conversations as we're getting older, people would, what do you mean? I'm like, you don't? And that's when really the awareness starts coming into it, is when we think that everybody's doing the same thing and we find out they're not, and not everybody's, and it's not that everybody can't. Everyone has these same gifts, right? They're not gifts. We've all got that ability to use any of our clairs, and examine that, whether it's clairvoyance or clairaudience or whatever that might be. Everyone's got that. It's just how much are you tapped into it and how willing are you to expose yourself to that. And I think the dreams, just because for me, that was that, and of course seeing my grandpa, were the biggest openings for myself in terms of where I realized it when we really kicked it up a notch and said, we're in our 50s, and why aren't we still doing exactly what we love, which is our business, right? Which is where Immersive Spirit started, and just going out and sharing. And our goal is, yes, I mean, we're happy to do readings, and we're happy to do tarot cards, and we're happy to do the paranormal investigations and help people out. But the goal is helping people out, whether it is helping them to figure out their own intuition, their own abilities. We offer, all the different coaching that we do and different things like that, or just helping a loved one cross over where they're in a spot that they're stuck. I mean, a lot of these paranormal investigations become spirits that are just in a place where they don't want to be anymore either. And they're using them as one of our mentors would tell you, it's a human zoo. Pay for entrance into our human zoo. And that's not cool, right? So that's where our love of all this developed and really took on its own life in our business. So
okay,
long way of answering your question.
No, nothing wrong with that. And fucking late, the worst time. I swear to fucking God. But okay, well, first thing I gotta say to that is 50s. You fucking kidding me? That's some alien DNA I've ever seen it. Jesus Christ.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I was guessing 30s at max. So okay.
We love you.
There we go.
We'll pay you later.
I try.
Text in the mail.
But there it goes. Oh, there's my princess.
Hello.
Hi,
They're saying hi. Say hi. Wave. Yeah, I don't know what that bug is. Go get the bug.
Awesome.
I don't know, Bill. But, and two, I mean, yes, I agree. Everybody has abilities they have to unlock. It's 100% true.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, I mean, like, me personally, I've been told I'm an empath, and I just haven't figured out how to unlock it yet. They say meditation, but meditation's a bitch to me, so I can't meditate. But it's just my thing.
Everybody, I think there's very few people in the world that can just naturally meditate and just have always. I mean, if you ask me, I think that's a gift, right? It's something that takes a lot of work to just sit there and be able to zone out and to figure out exactly where everything's at. And then all of a sudden, that's the whole other psychic experience is just once you're in those moments, woof, the things that come through. So, yeah.
I know. I am waiting for the day that actually happens, and I will gladly welcome it with open arms when it happens, because I am dying for that to happen, because my paranormal show will go to a whole new level when that happens. And I think that's part of the reason. I don't know. I've been told I'm meant to do this. Part of me feels like it's blocking it. I don't fucking know. But I'll be taking a break in a couple months for 2 or 3 months. So we'll see then if I can awaken it. It'll be the first break I took in about 2.5 years. So
nice.
I've been doing this every week since then. So it'll be a little break. But
yeah.
Okay. A break from this, not a break from life, because I still will.
Right.
I'll be having a newborn, so it's going to be a whole nother experience.
Congratulations!
Oh, wow, congratulations!
Thank you. Third one on the way. Shoot me now. Right, princess? Mm-hmm. Sorry. Daddy grabs rough now.
It's like, hey, James, Dad.
She gives me a look like I'm going to kill you. So you said tarot reading, which I love tarot reading. I've had tarot readers in the show before. I've had done in this show, and it's interesting. Like mine are always come out different. Whenever I have it read, it's always a little different, and it's just seems like I don't know. I mean, yes, the future is always changing, but we do have fates. So it's weird to me that everything usually changes about them. I'm like, aren't some things supposed to be fated? Like, don't tell me the person who read my hand and said I had like a 95-year lifespan coming be wrong. Like, I like that reading. I want that reading to stick. But it's, I mean, I don't know. How accurate do you feel like tarot reading is usually?
So I think anybody who does future stuff always needs to put a caveat around it that says there's free will.
Absolutely.
There is, you have your at point A and you're going to get to point B because that's part of your path and that is fated. But you could take a gazillion different paths to get there. So when that is happening, you may choose a path that's not going to lead you to 95, and that's going to put you on a different trajectory. When they read you at that time, it was likely the truth of the choices you made up till this point. So I really think that it has a lot to do with the choices and the planks you choose as you go from path A to path B.
Yep. I mean, it's true. I mean, I like to compare fate to that scene in the movie Hercules when the fates are literally sitting there cutting off like the strings, and there's that one golden string they can't cut. And I like to think that that's basically what fate is there's a lot of strings that can be cut and retied where they need to be, but there's always certain golden strings that don't change.
Yep.
Like I once had a psychic tell me that this podcast is your golden string. It was going to happen eventually. She's like, you put it off longer than you should have even to start it. She's like, but you're not going anywhere. She's like, you're going to be doing this for a long, long time. Which, I mean, nah, I'm fine with that. I like doing it, so I ain't complaining. But it just seems like, all right, I never saw myself doing a podcast before like 2 years ago. Never. I mean, I listened to them, but I never saw myself doing one because I was just like, who wants to hear me talk? Like, it's like a lot of podcasters feel the same way, I'm sure, but well, a lot of them actually, but from ones I've talked to, but it's just like it's fate, I guess. I don't fucking know. I really don't. But
yeah. And I agree with Natalie on this point. You know, that golden string you talk about, we're destined to meet certain people. We're destined to live in certain places, certain times, be awoke, be open to things, whatever. But depending upon what life throws at you and what path you take, you know, are you listening to your guides, right? Are you listening to your spirit guides or whomever, your higher sort, your higher self, your God, whoever that might be in your life? Are you listening to the gentle nudge when they're like, wrong way, you hang a right on this path? Or are you, you bullheaded and you're looking right through it? So it takes you an extra 5 years, 10 years to find that direction around. Eventually you'll get there. It's just a matter of how many crossroads, how many forks in the road are you going to take that are the wrong direction first?
Oh, okay. And apparently one of my co-hosts agrees with you from my other shows. But there you go. And I mean, I see, that's the thing. I never have felt like I actually got messages from anywhere. It's just kind of, I mean, I don't think I get messages. I think shit just happens. I think, like, I meet, like you said, like you meet certain people and they kind of invite you to do things. They kind of influence you to do things, and then just bam, like the person who got me into podcasting because he was looking for people to be on his podcast. I don't even talk to him anymore. But I had to meet him to get to this point. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have ever started a podcast if he didn't put out that open invitation. And from there, it's faded. From there, it's history. Like it happened and hasn't stopped. It hasn't stopped. Trust me. But
you go through your meditation, Jeremy. So just as you were talking just now, and you said, no, you've never heard it or whatever. I hear the name Anthony. Whether that's a guide for you or somebody else, but I hear the name Anthony come in for you. And you'll have to tell me if that resonates, if there's a name that's an Anthony someplace.
Anthony. If it was a spirit guide, you wouldn't likely know that name.
You probably wouldn't, but I think it's a spirit guide. And that is, so as you start going into your meditations, right, and figuring that part out, basically a long nap, even tell them before you go to sleep at night, hey, nudge me in the dream. Give me some sort of visual. Give me a path. Give me something like that. Yeah. Everybody dreams, whether we all remember it or not. We all dream, and sometimes that's the easiest way to get that conversation started. And just
See, I'm happy you said that way because I actually don't remember my dreams ever, if I have them even. Like I haven't had I have very okay. Well, that's not true. I very rarely have dreams I actually remember. It's if I dream at all, I mean, most of the time I go to sleep and I don't. When I wake up, it's daylight, and I'm just like, okay, Like, I don't have any recollection of anything happening in that last 8 hours, 9 hours, whatever. Like, it's just, unless it's my wife get me out of bed because she has to go bathroom because she's pregnant. It's like every 5 minutes.
Right.
But it's, and Anthony does not resonate with me. I mean, I've known plenty of Anthony's in my life. I'm Italian, so I've known plenty of Anthony's, but
Right.
there's none in my life at this particular moment. No Anthony's, no Tony's I can think of.
Well, there's an Anthony.
It's
Yeah.
spirit guide. It's gotta be my spirit guide's name, which makes sense to be an Italian name. Just saying, it just makes sense.
Right. I didn't catch the part that you were
sense.
Italian before either, so maybe that is exactly why he's using that name. It resonates. I mean, for the names sometimes we get, it's going to be very different than how it resonates for you. I had one reading where I was sharing with somebody and I told her the name of the spirit guide and I saw it spelled one way. And as soon as she looked it up and did it a different direction, it brought in exactly, is basically her name in a very old spelling. So it resonates different for everybody.
Well, I mean, I don't think
Right?
there's no spelling.
He likes Anthony.
Jeremy,
Though.
so.
He seems old school. He likes Anthony. Just saying.
Oh, I mean, I'm just saying, Anthony. I could use a hitman. I know some people that need to disappear, but whatever. But
That's
wrong
not
path.
good.
Wrong path.
They never can do what I want them to do. But see, you mentioned lives, and that kind of put me down a wormhole in my head for a second, and got to ask this because I love asking this of anybody in the spiritual realm. What are your theories on reincarnation?
Steph, you want to go or?
Well, I'll tell you mine, and then she can tell you hers. So up until, I don't know. I guess I've gone back and forth with it over my life. A lot of me wants to believe that there's just heaven, and that when we're done, we go and, off to the green pastures and the beautiful places and those types of things. Another part of me thinks that there's been past lives, that there is a whole past life path and things that we've learned, and we come back and repeat those things and continue to do that. And we can really blow your mind and basically tell you you're living them on the same timeline, right? They're different planes of experience, but you've got multiple past lives that were happening at the same time as your current life. So that when you are dreaming and you see something, for example, that's long ago or something that's very futuristic, it could be it's a different plane of your existing life. How philosophical do you want to get?
Well, okay, but before I let Natalie answer there, that's interesting because I had a guest. Monday was Claudia. That's different completely. Last week I had a guest, and she basically can't step into a room, as how she described it, and she could see basically her multiverse of her lives. It's the best way to put it. Mm-hmm. She can see all her different timelines and alternate universes.
Wow.
And she can jump in between them and whatnot and live those for a few minutes and come back and whatnot. So I never met anybody that can do that. So until that moment, like, I would have just called them all past lives, but now I'm kind of conflicted, and I keep saying, I was telling her the same thing because she's an author, and I was telling her, like, once I get like 500 episodes into this podcast, I'm writing a fucking book on my beliefs of this world. It's going to be insane. It's going to blow this world apart, but I'm writing a damn book. I'll do it, and I'll make a new edition, a second chapter of it when I hit 1,000 episodes. That's my goal. I'm putting it out there now. It's fated, but it's been meant to happen. I mean, it's been meant to happen. Ever since I realized I was getting close to 200 episodes, I was like, it's time to write a book eventually. I'm gonna start crafting it now, and then I'll just edit it as needed over the next like 2 years. When I hit 3 years, when I hit 500 episodes, I'll edit it then. I'll edit it in between now and then, figure out like what changed. Because every guest I have in the show, well, not every guest, but most guests I have in the show changed my worldview in one way or another. Because information like she gave me about the alternate universe thing totally put a question mark into my initial theory on reincarnation, and I was like, fuck. But it just did. And But before I get to my theory of reincarnation, I'll let Natalie go because I don't like to be a rude person. So
No, so it's actually my answer is much like Stephanie. I think we've developed and grown into different thoughts on this throughout the years currently. And I truly believe this is that our lives are all living in one existence, like the quantum physics of things. And that's why you run into situations of, like Stephanie said, you see things from the future, you see things from the past, and they're actually lives that are happening concurrently. It's just, this is where your current consciousness, even though your higher self conscious, sits on all of them. So I very much agree with Stephanie's answer.
see, the synchronicities in this shit is fucking ridiculous because two guests, okay, well, 3 guests technically in 2 weeks that make me think this way, and I'm like, God damn it, there goes everything I knew about that. But it's
that was something you were supposed to learn, and we were put on your path to share it so that you'd hear it
exactly,
or validate what she had already said.
Right, exactly.
Fucking exactly. I mean, it's the point of this podcast is I think it's for me to I think my guide, if I have guides, which I'm sure I do, everybody does, but I think they want me. This podcast is my learning tool. It is what makes me understand this world, well, as much as anybody can understand it a little better. But because I always believed, reincarnation 100% freaking possible. I always believed that because there's been so many examples of children knowing things they shouldn't know from a previous life, and being proven that they knew these things, and there's no way they could know them unless they just knew it. And I mean, the kid who was a World War II pilot in his previous life, that's the primary example I always have. The Indian girl who in India who remembered what her house looked like, remembered who her husband was, remembered details that nobody else would know. Like there's multiple examples of it, and I always, I mean, after talking to a lot of people, I kind of coerced my theory or molded it so that it involves extraterrestrials, and reincarnation is basically managed by extraterrestrials. And I am not a religious person, so I do not believe in. I don't like the term heaven. To me is kind of like,
right.
It's good for songs. It's good for songs. That's about it. But besides, I mean, I believe is there a dimension that we get to go rest in eventually once we're done and we learn everything we're supposed to learn in this world? Maybe. I am not beyond the possibility other dimensions exist. I'm not beyond the possibility of it. Is there a hell? Well, I mean, I live on Earth, so I'm pretty much here. But and I don't really believe there is. I mean, if there is a hell, it's interesting. That kind of intrigues me. That intrigues me.
It's everybody's review period. That's all. Everybody gets to go through it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like being a freaking Hellraiser and you're in the box. You're in the limit configuration. But it's, I don't know. I mean, I always believe reincarnation's real. But the whole you get to that your past lives could just be alternate dimensions, living the same life, and when you die, maybe you just get transferred to one of those lives. Like that kind of that's kind of breaking its way into my theory, and I'm kind of at a shatter point right now in my head with that, and I've been thinking about it for a good almost week now, and it's just like, I don't like change. But,
another way to think of that, Jeremy, is that we're all just these huge balls of source energy, and we take little pieces of that source of ourselves and throw them down to have the human experience. So there's hundreds of little sources, and each time one ends, it goes back to the higher source and gets thrown down in a different way. So they all share that same knowledge from that lifetime.
Okay, that just sparked something in my head. So yes, okay, that just sparked something in my head, and now I have new theories. And this is why I'm writing a book. This is why I am writing a book, because I can't even keep all the shit straight in my head anymore. It's just so much. But
so much,
yes. And I love it. I freaking love it. I love that so much because if this world was simple to understand, if it was easy to understand, it'd be boring. I wouldn't be enthralled. I wouldn't be enthralled by it. I wouldn't want to go to work every day if there's nothing else to discover. If all I could do every day is go to work and come home, it'd be like, what's the fucking point of living? Like, there's got to be new things to discover in this earth. There's got to be new things to do. So, new things to figure out, which the paranormal is chock full of that. So,
Oh yeah.
lovely. But I will. All right. Let me ask this: Have you? I know you. Obviously, you believe in guardian spirits. Do you
Mhm.
believe in the concept of angels and demons?
I do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you had experiences with either to back that up, or is it just a pure belief thing?
I think for the angel portion of it, so again, going into readings, when you go and you're doing readings for people, you're asking their spirit guides, their angels, archangels, the masters, right? Buddha, Jesus Christ. I mean, all they've existed, and that, you know, on a philosophical conversation, I mean, we could get started on that too. But you'll feel different things entering that space at different places, and angel energy seems to be a little different. So for me, if I think of it this way, your spirit guide is the one that's saying, yo, asshole, going the wrong way. You know, you need to go left, you need to go right. Whereas your angel's like, well, all right, I guess they're going to go learn from this. And here we go. Right. Your spirit guide is your team, your rallying team. Your angel is more of a, we're trying to keep you on a better, cleaner path. Right. The demons, as I think of demons in the world, I mean, I think of it, you know, you watch enough ghost shows and that types of things. I do believe that there are bad entities. I don't want to just sit here and say demons and kind of put it all in that one box, but I believe there's bad things that do bad, whether they're bad souls that have come around, whether they are bad energy that's been, you know, incarnated in some capacity, whether it's different pieces of people that have been put together and, you know, and shuffled to make this environment. To me, that's kind of the demon of it all. And it turns it into that black, scary part of people's mind.
See, that's the thing that intrigues me the most. I mean, angels. See, a lot of people say guardian spirits and angels are the same thing, and I'm just like, I don't know if I believe that per se. I mean, because I've heard so many experiences with people saying, "Oh, I talked to the Archangel Michael. I talked to the Archangel so and so," and it's just like,
Well, and your angel, if you think about it, your angel's really with you from birth, right? Your whole life. I mean, whether it's this life, your parallel lives, you have that angel. Your spirit guides are your teachers. So your spirit guide, you might have one that's the same and with you your whole life, but most of the time they're going to fluctuate in and out at different times, depending upon what you know, who's supposed to be teaching you something at that moment. There's people that have one or two guides. There's some that have a room full, and they could each be teaching them a different portion of their life. But then you'll talk to them, and 2 years later, they've got a different round of guides. The last ones have done their part and they've stepped on, and now you've got this different team, right? It's your spirit team. Whereas your angel,
see,
for me, is the same consistent piece that has been there since you were conceived and is going to be there until you're in the ground.
see, I mean, the way you describe. No, I know. You, of course, it's your view, and that's what the show's about. But I mean, I can agree with it though, because I mean, angels to me are maybe they only get involved when they actually have to defend us from, you know, actual demons. Like maybe that's when they actually get involved. Because I mean, it's been I had an author in the show way back in like my second episode, yeah, and her books. That's kind of what the angels in her books do. They only actually interfere when there's demons involved. Otherwise, they let everybody else figure it out fuck themselves. Right? Because, you know, angels are dicks. I mean, S, Dean and Sam, angels are dicks. But it's true. I mean, it's funny because I actually just messaged a exorcist on one of a podcast guest site today to try to get him on the show, because I've had a couple of them on the show and they're always great guests. They're always entertaining as shit. And like, but I've heard their stories and I'm like, there's something there, whether it is just malevolent spirits or, you know, actual demons from some other dimension that we call hell, like whatever you want to call it, like, but, or whether they're just ultra terrestrial beings from another dimension that are evil. who knows? I certainly don't. I never met one. I don't want to meet one because I've talked to people who lucid dream and who astral project, and there are things in other dimensions you don't want to meet unless you really are trying to. So, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I never know what to do. But Natalie, please, sitting there peacefully waiting for your turn. Please tell us what you think.
She could tell you the astral projection and stuff part of that too, more than I could. So,
yeah, that's a thing. So like Stephanie mentioned, I believe in angels as well. I don't think there's like a hierarchical structure in the spirit world. When I'm doing readings, I will call in like specific archangels, only like the communicators and the Earth Mother and things that I'm trying to focus on for that individual. I don't see them often. I have felt energy that's kind of a different hue, so that's kind of cool. But there's elementals, and there's just so many different spirits. And the thing is everything is possible, demons included. And I have had an experience where there was something in my house. It came home with me. It wasn't the best experience. It was here for a couple weeks and was kind of hard to get this thing to move on. I had to call Stephanie from Montana, and together her and I worked through it. But it would appear with little horns and shadow. But the spirits also know our society. Like, what's going to scare you? What have you seen on TV that's going to make me be horrific for you and scary? It didn't work out really well because I didn't get scared because I couldn't even tap into their energy. So it was just a very different situation. I'm not even sure it was a demon, but it was a little nefarious with me. And
I mean, the spirits definitely like to play jokes, and I mean, so do extraterrestrials to some degree. So who's to say what we know as demons per se isn't just an extraterrestrial race that has yet to be really identified or talked about? So I mean, that's one of my many theories on them. But it's just, I mean, but I've also talked to people who said they've seen hell. Like in NDEs, they've seen hell, which who knows? That could be a trick of the mind. That could be
the review process.
Yeah, I mean, it could be.
Yeah,
it could be. Who knows? But I mean, it's just too many unknowns. And I love that you brought up elementals, because whenever I talk to a British guest, that is a topic that always comes up, because elementals are huge in the UK. They don't have a bigger standing in the United States as they do in the UK, but in the UK, elementals are freaking huge. I mean, yeah, it's a land of gnomes and fairies and all that stuff too, but it's just elementals are always included in that list because they are mischievous and like to play jokes on people. So who knows? I mean,
they're tricksters.
I mean, they're tricksters by nature. I mean, but yeah, I don't freaking know. I mean, there's been a lot of tricksters. There's been a lot of tricksters in history. So,
well, and that's the point. None of us knows unless you go through it yourself, and then you're just going off the experiences of what other people tell you. And then we're all, quite mad. And how you look at what we all see and say and what we do. It's not like you walk around up and down the street saying, "Hey, look, here's my fairy and my dragon, and here's this over here, and have you met my spirit guides?" And
here's a paddy wagon with a straight
hair. Relax, lady.
It's actually funny you say that, because I talked to a paranormal investigator, Lon Strickler, pretty big name one too, a long time ago on the show, and there actually have been actual sightings of dragons in the mines of Pennsylvania. So I mean, I don't push dragons out of the realm of possibility as a lot of people do, because just like, I believe in living dinosaurs, so dragons are not that far fetched.
And unicorns, people will tell you about unicorns, and
I've heard a couple of those actually, and
I mean they're created from someplace, right? So it's either we've got a lot of crazy, vivid imaginations that see and do the same thing, or somewhere, sometime, someplace, some plane, something was out there.
Everything is possible. Everything is possible in a liminal. If you're looking at that, it's possible.
Everything
exactly,
in a liminal,
folks.
yes.
There are a lot of ultra terrestrial creatures out there, And sometimes I believe the line between dimensions gets a little weak and things cross over when they don't mean to. And before they realize it, they've been seen by something on this earth because, I'm sorry, Marco Polo, but, oh no, unicorns are rhinoceroses. Yeah, my ass they are. But, I mean, come on now. Come on. I mean, that's just...
Yeah.
They're supposed to be these majestic, beautiful creatures. Trust me, I see them every day. My daughter has 5,000 stuffed animals with them. But,
right? And they don't look like a rhinoceros.
Well,
no, I look more like a damn rhinoceros than my fucking daughter's stuffed animals do. So, I mean, come on. But it's just, I mean, these things have to exist first. So they had to exist at either some point in history, or they had to exist somewhere, and they cross over from time to time. I've only heard one or two experiences of unicorns on either not even on my podcast. On other podcasts, I've heard experiences, one or two experiences, but it's rare. It's one of those rare experiences when you actually hear it, you're just like, "Ooh, what's this?" Like, it's actually okay. We want to talk about actually. Well, one of you was about to say something, and I cut you off. I want to make sure I touch on whatever you want to say.
No, I just think a really good example of everything we're talking about is when Christopher Columbus landed on land and the natives were standing on the beach, and the only person that could see the boats was the shaman. And he kept telling the tribe, do you see the boat, or do you see those things approaching us? Do you see those things approaching us? And started explaining it to them. And those tribal members standing with him couldn't see it until he described it to such a degree that they could envision it with their own mind. So I think there's a lot of things around us that we don't see because we don't know what it is, and we don't know to pay attention to it. So it's the in-between, that dimensional thing, yeah.
Well, in the Christopher Columbus example, poor natives, they should have fucking turned around and walked away and said, "Shaman, you're crazy." But they should have. No. They should have. I don't get me started on fucking history. Yeah, hindsight's 20/20 for damn sure. But they should have just walked away or just chuck a fucking shot arrows at it, for fuck's sake. But where was I going with this? Because I totally just lost my fucking train of... Oh, nope, I know where I was going. Okay, let me ask you this: have you? Because we were talking about things that are rarely seen. And I haven't talked about this in the show in a long time, and I love this topic, so I want to bring it up. Have you ever heard of the phenomenon called mirrored men?
I can't say that I have.
Okay. Mirrored men got very popular by a podcast called Monsters Among Us by Derek Hayes. I don't know if you heard of the podcast. If you haven't, you honestly should check it out. It's one of the best paranormal podcasts out there, and that it's all people calling in their experiences. That's all, and him giving his opinion on it. That's all it is. It's what re-invoked my love of the paranormal back in like 2016. But basically, mirrored men are usually 3, sometimes more, humanoid figures that move in synchronicity. They walk in synchronicity. If they turn to look at something, they turn and look in synchronicity. Like all 3 do the same thing at the same time. Mm-hmm. When people see them, they tend to lose time. They tend to kind of pass out almost, but they tend to lose time. People have seen them in the forest, and during the middle of the day, and then when they come to, it's nighttime, like 3 a.m. Kids have seen them outside their windows when they were kids, I guess. And all of a sudden, next thing they know, it's morning, and it has a lot to do with time loss. It's creepy. Since it became a big thing in his show, and I actually had Derek Hayes on my show back about 2 years ago. Fucking amazing guy. I gotta get him back because he's just such a great guy, and I basically was a fanboying out that whole show, but because I listened to like 8 seasons of his show by that point, and like he got me back into the paranormal. So like I was fanboying, and his voice, he literally does a podcast where he reads Edgar Allan Poe and other old authors just so people can fall asleep to it, because his voice is he is the most soothing voice you'll ever hear in your life. But he, like, his show brought this to popularity. His show made this a thing, and now more and more people are hearing about this, and more and more people are coming forward being like, I've had these experiences, and they call into a show to tell about them. Like I mean, people tend to think it's extraterrestrial related in some way because of the lost time aspect, but I don't know if it's a dimensional thing either, because that's what I've been thinking about for the last couple of years since I started my own show. Is like, maybe it's a dimensional thing. Maybe they're just coming through another dimension, and that's why we lose time. That's why we lose time. It's because they're from another dimension, and we're seeing something that fucks with our brains so bad that we just basically pass out. We basically faint. We lose time over it, and that's my theory. It's just like we lose time over this because it's a fucking strange phenomenon. I mean, it's not like the Hat Man or one of those things where the Hat Man's just another type of spirit that a lot of people have seen. I can't explain it, but a lot of people have seen it. The Hat Man. I mean, it basically looks like a shadow person that looks like they're from the 20s or 30s.
Right.
It looks like the fucking guy from Casablanca. But I mean, other than that, like, I mean, it's just the Mirrored Men fascinate me to no end because it's just, and I love bringing it to people who haven't heard of it because it's just like I've had people come back to me like we say like, all right, I looked into the Mirrored Men, I am now fully fucking creeped out. Like, it's just one of those things. Like, I'm creeped out beyond degree now because what the hell did you introduce me to? Like, this is something unheard of. Like, it's which I love because if in the paranormal world, if there's something you haven't heard of, it's a whole new love. It's a whole new thing because I mean we've been talking about the same topics for 100 years now. So it's which watching. Let's go here because I have to go here with anybody who's like you guys, investigators and all that. Have you ever investigated anything more cerebral, such as, say, Bigfoot or any other cryptids by chance?
So I was going to bring up Bigfoot only because you were talking about dimensional. And while I've never had an experience myself with Bigfoot, just learning what I have and believing everything is possible, like, I kind of think that maybe they're dimensional. And that's why all of a sudden they're gone, or we can't find traces of them because they only come into our dimensions to do certain things. I can't say that's for a fact. It's just something that I've been theorizing on. And I have not worked with any cryptoids. Steph?
No, I'm fascinated with the Native American culture. I just love deeply and have a huge respect for, and the scary topic there being skinwalkers. So I am, and us being originally, I mean, Natalie's still in Colorado, but from Colorado, and just what Southwest Colorado is like, and the involvement there, and Western Colorado, Eastern Utah. And so that's part of our path, ultimately, to go beyond the paranormal, to do some investigating on things like that. I don't know that I would say we're going to go out to solve or find or, do that. But I think there's more to be known beyond the secrets of Skinwalker Ranch on TV, right? Where it's like, dig in this hole. Don't get me wrong. It's all fascinating because everything gets to a point, and I love that they have the money and the dinero and that great funding to back them up. Lucky them. But I think there's more to it than just mutilating of animals. I think there's a lot more history, spiritual history. There's a reason that the natives will not say it. There is a lot of different things around that, and that's the part I would like to dig into.
I mean, the secret of Skinwalker Ranch has nothing to do with skinwalkers. That's the fun thing.
Not a thing. It's named that, I think, from a historical purpose as to where it started, but that's all alien.
It is. It is. And I am a couple seasons behind on that show because I don't have cable anymore for the last 3 years, but it's a damn good show, except for the fact
and they haven't gotten anything yet still. I mean, as of the most recent episode, they're digging inside of a mesa. Now, there's a lot of flybys happening. There's a lot of government interest. The
UFO shots they get alone
are
amazing. Changed the paranormal world.
Yeah,
they've changed the paranormal world.
Yeah.
So I mean, that show is goddamn incredible, and I love it. Like, it's just an incredible show, but it's just.
But again, like you said, nothing to do with skinwalkers.
What motherfucker says, "Call me Dragon"? That's the only problem I have with that show.
I don't know.
Like
the guy that's the head of security.
Oh.
What person says, "Call me Dragon"? Like, that's just that drives me up a wall. He drives me up a wall. Other than that, the show is amazing. I love the show. I do plan on catching up it eventually because it's freaking incredible, and they've done more for the paranormal community than anybody else has done in the last 50 years.
Because they put science behind it.
Right.
More than Zach Baggins they're fucking done, you fucking fake. But I mean, and all right, well.
The thing is, I'll tell you, so my opinion about Zach and crew, I think Zach is a bit of a bully and a narcissist. I love his crew. His crew, especially when you look at Aaron and Jay, are very, very strong mediums. Jay is very much he understands the spirituality and the things that happen within that. Aaron feels everything. I just don't like Zach. Zach's just, he's got too much of his own I'm awesome in his head.
And very edited.
They find some great stuff. And the fact is, it's like, one of the places we're going is somewhere that I think it was one of their recent investigations, and we're actually going to be there as well in Arizona here in a few months. So yeah, they definitely find some great locations. I just don't love when anybody does interpretations of something or puts their own spin on things without proof or some sort of evidence, right? Oh, that's such and such, and they killed blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, how do you know? Did they tell you?
I mean, as far as, all right, well, to touch on what you said, I 100% can believe that Bigfoot is ultra-terrestrial. 100% can believe that. Why are you wet? Questions I don't want to know the answer to. But
right.
I'd rather talk about Bigfoot. But yeah, I mean, Bigfoot is 100% ultra-terrestrial. I don't know. I'm not gonna say 100% because
right.
Part of me still wants to believe the Gigantopithecus theory. It really does. But yeah. I mean, and Leslie and Stephen Shaw, who we talked about earlier, she actually told me, she's like, there is a scientist in California who recently was testing a pond or a lake, for urine samples to see what animals frequented it. And there's one urine sample they couldn't identify to any known animal on Earth.
Wow.
And the same scientist also found hair that she's run through multiple labs without government interference, thank God. And these hairs cannot be identified either. So amazing. we are literally this close to the government having to admit they exist. Because when you're going to put up signs in state parks that literally say, if you run into a Bigfoot, here's what you do. How are you going to deny its existence? Right. There are literally signs in state parks. Come the fuck on. How stupid do you think Americans are? I mean, yes, Americans are not the most intelligent people ever. Don't get me wrong. A lot of them aren't. But if you're going to put these signs, and have them posted for social media, what do you think we're going to think? So you're warning us if we run into one of these creatures that doesn't exist. That's,
I haven't seen one of those signs yet.
I haven't either.
Google it. I guarantee you'll find it. I mean, I see them on Facebook all the time, and they're legit signs. They are nailed to trees in state parks, and it's do not feed. It's do not feed it. Do not approach it. Back away slowly. Basically the same warnings they give for a bear, but it's Bigfoot. And it's how are you going to deny its existence? I mean, I've been saying since COVID, I'm wait for the next fucking pandemic. They're going to be admitting that Bigfoot's real instead of UFOs because they need something else to scapegoat. I mean, even though UFOs didn't work during COVID because nobody fucking paid attention to that with everything else going on until a couple years later, everybody's wait a minute, what did they say back then? But
right,
next pandemic, it's gonna be Bigfoot. It's gonna be Bigfoot. I have 100% guarantee of that almost because the government knows. There are so many stories of the government. There's a famous story. I don't know exactly where. I want to say Washington or somewhere up in the Northwest. There was a big forest fire. A burnt up, close to dead Bigfoot came stumbling out of the woods. They put in an ambulance. 2 ambulance workers drove away with it. Neither of those workers was there, or the ambulance was ever seen again. And there were testimonies. There were confessions. There were statements by people that worked in the ambulance company saying they never heard from those 2 workers again.
Huh.
So
Wow.
there's plenty of proof of Bigfoot. People are just scared to admit there's something on this earth we don't know about that is that intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
It's easier to dig up the bones of the dinosaurs and name those because they're not alive than it is to acknowledge something.
Oh, they are alive. There are some of them are alive still.
Well,
Look at the lakes, right?
Well, I'm not even talking sea/lake monsters. That's a whole nother discussion. They exist, but that's a whole nother discussion. I mean, have you not heard of my good friend Mkele Mbembe from the Congo in Africa?
Yes, that name rings a bell. That one I recognize.
Is that the pterodactyl?
Brontosaurus,
Ah.
or something similar. My son's a dinosaur. My 10-year-old son's a dinosaur expert, not me. But Mkele Mbembe is basically something that has been seen by natives for hundreds of years in the Congo. It's still seen to this day with some recent sightings. And I believe there's a family of whatever the hell species they are living in the Congo. And they live in water part of the time because they live in a huge lake that they reside in, or a huge river, whatever the hell it is. But they have been seen for hundreds of years and are in. When white people first went over there, they literally had a book of animals that exist, and they were pointing at every single animal, and all the natives were like, nope, that's not it. And then they happened to be a page on dinosaurs in there because it was some kind of animal book, and they're like, that's it, and they pointed at like a brontosaurus picture or something like that. And
wow,
I don't believe the natives were white people. I mean, just instinct and history tell me to do that, so I'm going to believe it.
Right.
And there also is a tribe in Chile or Argentina. I always forget which country, but they worship these creatures that live in the forest that are velociraptor type creatures.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's awesome.
So living dinosaurs is a thing, and it kind of, I don't know. I mean, I am a huge believer in the hollow earth theory. Not flat earth because I have a brain, but hollow earth. I'm a huge believer in hollow earth theory because hollow earth makes sense. There are all these cave systems in the United States, and gee, where do all the missing 411 cases happen near? Oh, look, all these cave systems. So, what is living in these caves? But I mean, all these creatures are living in this cave. It's just like, well, so I think at least. I mean, all these different cryptids are living in these caves, or other creatures we don't even know have names for yet. And all these people happen to go missing on these lines. I mean, it's kind of, the dots are there. People are just not connecting them enough for the government or the government doesn't care enough to connect them. I mean, I don't know which it is. I mean, government not caring. Oh, huge surprise there. But I mean, it makes so much sense. I mean, it really does.
Well, and I think this is a great point. Like, neither Stephanie or I have heard these things before, so it's not something we've even thought would be, not like as it's coming across our ears, we're like, wow, that's kind of incredible.
Yeah.
But the thing is both of us are open to everything as possible. So,
which is exactly why I wanted to make sure I got to this point with you guys, because I wanted to. I like to open people's minds to things in this show when I can, and it's just interesting. Well, okay, this comment I got it. Nicioli, if I mispronounce that, Nacioio, I don't freaking know, but I had a spirit handful nights ago that whispered strange stuff into my ear. Never forget Cool Rogers and never forget me. She wants to know if you guys ever had that.
So I do get voices in my ears. during readings during the night. Typically, it's short messages. I wonder if that means something for her? Like, did you accept that as a message? Like, what did that mean something for you? Is really the question. So yes, I do get voices in my ear.
Yep.
But
Sure.
Cool Rogers, like that's weird. That's like a cowboy name or something. But
if there's but there's certain meaning for certain people. So to Natalie's point,
exactly.
when we're doing these readings, and it's whether it's a guide or an ancestor or somebody else who tells us something in those sessions, it's not for us. Right now, if we're sitting by ourselves, I'm in meditation or something, it's for me. But if I'm doing it for somebody else, then that's a message to them. Right. And
it's
so
like a dictionary item. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So Cool Rogers could be, did you ever love Cool Hand Luke? Were you ever into, what's the Rogers that was the Starship guy?
Or someone who liked that and who said, never forget about me, and just trying to remind them of that connection.
Exactly. Somebody who's passed on that was into certain things or had keywords or triggers for you, and that's their way of popping in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, the only Roger I could think of is from Doug, and he wasn't cool. But I want to thank both of you ladies for coming on, and I would honestly love to do this again at some point if you're down for a second appearance.
Of course.
Where can people, tell people basically what you offer and where they can find you.
Well, we offer all sorts of good things, but anything from a regular psychic reading, like intuitive reading, tarot card readings, if you like tarot. We also do a lot of coaching sessions to help you develop your own intuitive abilities, because the fact is everybody has them. So we're happy to meet with folks and coach on that. We will do paranormal investigations. We will help with crossings where we can. And you can find it all on our website, which is immersivespirit.com. And our Instagram and our Facebook and all those goodies are on there as well. Again, it's immersivespirit.com. And if you go to our services tab, you can actually scroll to the bottom. There's an area for a 15-minute free consultation. We're happy to just meet with you and see if we vibe, because the fact is everybody's got a particular psychic or a friend that knows something, or a medium or somebody that they work with that they're comfortable with. And you have to have that connection in order to trust somebody to have those conversations. So we're always happy to meet first and let people decide, are we a fit?
100% agree with that. And please, folks, check them out. They are some cool ass chicks. So they will, I don't see how you couldn't vibe with them. I really don't. But
thanks Jeremy.
And yes, folks, you all know where to find me if you don't by now. God, I can't say it anymore. Shame on your house, shame on your cow, shame on everything. But it's in the outro. Check it out, listeners. Fuck. I shouldn't have to say it every show. And watchers, it's on the bottom of the screen. If you can't read, well, come to me for help. I'll help you. But I want to thank Natalie and Stephanie for coming on, because it's been an amazing show. And yes, folks, I broke a record tonight for the first time ever. I had sisters together. Not like that, you pervs. I had sisters together on a show. So, it's been a pleasure, and hopefully we can get them back, because there's so many aspects of the paranormal world we didn't even touch on in an hour and 9-ish minutes. So there's easily can get another hour. Easily. God, I could go for 3 hours with these ladies, because their minds are so open, and they are open to all these different strange things that happen in our world. But I do have responsibilities, unfortunately. So, but come check out another interview tomorrow, and more next week as always. And until these ladies grace us again with their presence, I will thank them one last time, and have a good night, everybody.
Thank you very much.
You can find me on Facebook as Jeremy Bryant, or you can find me as Uncensored, Unapologetic, and Untamed UQ Podcast Collective Facebook group. You can find me on Twitter and the Instagram as @JuggaloBastard, or should I say X now. And you can find me on TikTok as @JuggaloBastard Podcast. You can also find me on YouTube as Paranormal The New Normal. And you can also find me streaming on YouTube as Blind Knowledge Network, because all knowledge is blind until they admit Bigfoot exists.